if you are debating, how can I get better? How can I improve? How can I go to my next level? How can I elevate myself in terms of my career, my purpose, my calling, like whatever that is. If you're wondering where to go, I would say go on the adventure, right? That place, that the vision that is so big that you don't even think is possible. Because again, if you told me I was going to be here, like doing what I'm doing right now, this is fascinating. Somehow we found a way to get here, you know? And again, first and foremost, I want to be grateful and I want to say thank God for this. You know, God ultimately gave me the gift, right? Gave me the ability to even be able to speak in the way that I speak, talk about things the way I talk about, just have that level of confidence and the courage to put myself out there, knowing that everybody's going to have a damn opinion about what I got to say. Not like they know me or anything, but people going to have opinions about that, and just having the courage to put myself even out there to go through this process, there's a power that comes from that, right? And so I'm going to say, take on the mantle, right? Jesus said, who's going to come with me? Take on the mantle is difficult, it's challenging, it's tumultuous. Is that how you say it? I don't know. But anyway, just embark on the journey that is going to be difficult, the discomfort, the things that you don't see you can achieve. And then really find ways to improve along the way. Because ultimately, if you can look at the nuances of your process, right? Like if you can find those small adjustments that you can make to your process every day, showing up, man, you become a different person, man. It just, the transformation, as small as it is, regardless, I think about getting in shape, how that was the first stage for me. And then that allowed me to even be more confident in myself, because I was standing in front of the mirrors at the gym posing. And if you can, okay, let me tell people something. If you can be in front of the gym mirrors, right, posing, like if you can do that, like that's a different level of confidence. Like I think for people that do that, like most people don't understand, to be able to pull up in front of the gym and just stop posing out of nowhere. Not like trying to interrupt people or anything like that. Obviously, gym courtesy and everything. But I'm saying just in general, being able to do that took my confidence to a whole new level. And then once I could do that, I was like, okay, you know what? Why don't we apply the same disciplines, the strategies, the systems that I use in terms of, meal prepping, dieting, all those things, and just apply it to what I'm doing right now. And then when I started applying it, I'm like, okay, we going to a whole different level. Right. So now I'm just not confident in my body, but I'm also confident in my ideas and just the way I break down ideas, how I just really play with ideas, the way I articulate my sentences and the way I talk about things. I started believing a way I never believed before. And so this is, again, very important why you should go on the journey, because again, as you develop these small little habits, these disciplines, these skill sets, you showing up every morning, every night, training, executing, doing the videos, posting, learning how to edit, finding ways to improve, understanding business. I mean, all of these things I've come to realize is like, bro, the adventure was worth it. I'm not where I want to be yet, but man, when I started 3 years ago, if I could have seen myself here, like that was like a big goal for me. It's a dream. Like I haven't arrived or anything, but what I think of right now is the journey was worth it. Even though I didn't know how it was going to turn out, I couldn't see myself getting to this exact point. I just knew that I just needed to put one foot in front of the other. And just to be able to be at this place where I don't have a huge amount of following, but man, just even coming out this way and having this conversation with you, man, that's a beautiful thing. I'm very proud of what we've done so far and the man I've become. I think there's so much more that I need to become, relationships, so many different things that I could get better. And hopefully I can bring more guests on the podcast as well and take this whole thing into a whole different level. But I just wanted you all to know that go on the adventure. It's difficult. It's challenging. It's unforgiving. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. It's unforgiving. You have to be relentless. You can't be halfway in, halfway out. You have to go all in, and you must really want it bad enough. You have to have intent. You have to truly want to pursue what you say you want to pursue. And that gives you the motivation. It gives you that momentum. And ultimately, like I said, pursue your strengths. Look for that. And then obviously find ways to improve your weaknesses along the way. But that thing that you're drawn to, man, I'm not saying passion or anything, but whatever it is that you're drawn to, find ways to polish that along the way. Because like I said, like I had a way to be able to, like I knew a little bit about speaking. Even when I was young, at church, I'll be able to, preach and talk about different things as young as possible. So I knew I was going to do something like this. Again, I didn't know it was going to be exactly this, but I knew it was going to be something like this, So just have the opportunity to be exactly at this point, like even as I'm telling you, even though I knew I was going to do something like this, I had to go through all that learning curve, right? The process of learning how to edit, like using iMovies and having no idea. Remember, if you don't know anything about editing and you would toss in that marketplace like that, like that's a crazy form of evolution. And to be able to get to the point where I'm confident in my, so-called editing, basic editing that I do, I think I'm very, just having that base and things becoming a little more autonomous, man, it makes the process so much better, because that was the difficult part. I mean, just being in front of the camera, practicing, getting ready, and just being out here and executing for you, like that's what that's what I do. This is what I do all the time. So, man, it's just such an incredible journey, man. Just being here, being comfortable in front of camera, just remembering just how nervous I used to be just doing the videos all the time. Like that was just a whole different ball game. But just being able to be here, and having so many different friends in the niche that I'm in, and being able to go over different topics and share my perspective on things and things that have changed my life, books, stories, and hopefully, one of my videos touch one of you and you get inspired. But man, like I just wanted to take a break and really just reflect and say, we're not where we want to be, but then we came a long way. And the adventure, man, it was just a beautiful thing. There were challenges where I never thought was possible. I mean, there were times where I had to take like 2 weeks off completely from social media, because I'm like, man, this is becoming way too much. Because remember, I still have my 9-to-5 job. This is something that people don't understand. Most people that initially start creating content, they still have their jobs. So I still have my regular 9-to-5 job. I mean, it's not a 9-to-5 job, but it's like a sole proprietorship. Just a little more hectic on that side. When it comes to this is, again, I've been saying it, I truly believe that this is what I was born to do. It took me a long time to get here, but I think everything was preparation. Everything was set in line for me to get to the exact moment where I can impact the people that I can impact. And also, actually, very interesting, I posted something on my Instagram, and I think it would be great to talk about this. Some of you are waiting to use your voice, right? Like, and I want you to speak. Like, use your voice, because you matter. I said this, like, not everybody will resonate with Tony Robbins. Not everybody will resonate with Chris Williamson or Chris Bumstead. Like, there's so many people that people won't resonate with, regardless of how small you think you are. Whatever skill sets that you currently have, give that skill sets to other people that are coming up, because whatever it is that you think you have, other people have it, right? Like, for instance, I know how to do basic editing right now, so I could teach somebody how to edit. Like, I know for a fact I can create a whole course on how to edit. I can show people how to start a podcast. I can show people how to start a YouTube channel from scratch. I can show people how to really have an effective Instagram channel. I can show people how to batch content, how to really produce content effectively and not stress yourself out. There's so many things I have that I can give back to people. And the problem is, I realize so many of us, we get told by the world that we can't do certain things and we can't do it. Like, just right now, this video was not, like, I wasn't thinking about doing the video right now. But I decided to get up here and do it simply because I wanted to. I didn't want no one to tell me when I can post the video, how I should post it. Like, I don't know where I heard this from. There's a quote that says, when you brought to the world, they tell you that this is how the world is and you just fit in. But I think Steve Jobs, he said, just go out there and just make a difference, right? And so I wanted to do this video right now. So I put a camera in front of me and I started doing it. Like, I don't need permission. And some of us, we think we need someone to come tell us that what is the right time. Okay, this is the right time to go. I think you're confident enough. And again, I understand it. It's great for other people that you care about to point out something that you already are really good in. Like, that makes you feel great about yourself. So I know what that is. And it really might ignite or spark that specialty that you have. So I understand that perspective. But ultimately, man, just move, go do your thing. If you go on the adventure, the worst thing that can happen is you can always go back to whatever you're doing. I always say that. Just do it. What's the worst thing that can happen? I can always go back to what I used to do before. But ultimately, man, I learned so many things. I understood a lot about sales. I understood a lot about human interaction, just understanding psychology, really getting to know people, just the online space, just how different it is. And it really gave me an idea of how different our world is today. Most of us don't think about it. Like, I'm in front of a camera in my bedroom, really thinking about having a conversation with one of my buddies, because you guys are really individuals listening to this. Like, I'm not having a conversation with you like I'm talking to thousands of people. I'm having a conversation like, yo, that's my guy. Like, we're chilling, we're kicking it, and this is exactly how it's going. And when even to get to that point to have that conversation, that's a whole nother topic that we're going to talk about. But it's a beautiful thing. It's really opened my eyes to so many aspects of me, just certain words that I was used to using. When you start doing these videos and long hours podcasts, you tend to realize there is a certain pattern of words that you constantly use. And then you can see, okay, you're really not as diverse as you thought you were. And then you get an opportunity to improve. This is just so beautiful. Doing these videos are examples for me to see, man, the things that I'm reading, the things that I'm learning, the things that I'm implementing in my life, are they becoming part of who I am? So are they really coming out through my language, the way I put myself out there? And I wanted to be very cognizant of that. For a lot of you, you want to be able to do what I'm doing. It takes time. Even being able to eradicate words like and like those type of things, man, this is a skill. This is an art form to be able to convey your ideas effectively and talk to people in such a way that they are interested in what you are saying. Like, that is a whole nother skill set, man. Like, this has taught me so many things. I will never give up. If people watch me or not, I think it's making me a better person, a better communicator, understanding humans better. And if you understand human psychology better, you know how to really deal with people better. You know how to not push people, how to force them to do things they don't want to do, how to think that your ideas are better. Just really having empathy for people. Like, doing videos, man, this adventure really is something that I wasn't expecting, but it's what I needed. At the very moment, God knew this is what I needed. In order for me to get to that next level of myself, I think my communication had to go to a new level. And so just being able to be in this place, I'm very grateful that I have this small audience that I have. And I value you guys so much for always coming in to listen to a random young kid from Africa, a small little village. Man, this is a beautiful thing. If you're not really putting yourself out there to create content, man, I cannot say enough why it's so valuable to do this. Again, your sales is going to get better. Communication is going to get better. You will definitely improve your vocabulary, like drastically. You're going to understand a lot about humanity. The online space is an opportunity for you to expand your own business or whatever you will try to do in the future. So I think this is one of those things, just to be able to have a phone, pick up this beautiful Shure microphone, and then I got my low profile boom stand over here. I mean, just to sit up here in my bedroom with a few beautiful photography, studio lights and everything. I think, man, it's an incredible thing. Go on the adventure. It's important that you go on the adventure. I think that is what really ultimately makes a difference, man. It just exposes so many parts of you, I think it brings all your weaknesses up front. Right. And it also exposes all your strength, because sometimes we all underestimate a lot of our strengths. So many of you, I promise you, I know there are people that watch my videos that I know you're a lot more confident than I am. You probably more articulate than I am. There's so many of you that listen to certain people that you admire, but you can do what they're doing. The only difference is they believe in themselves. They believe they are these people. Like, the only reason I can sit in front of this place and do this videos is because I believe I am this. I believe I'm a type of person that was made to do a podcast. I believe I'm a type of person that my ideas matter. I believe that my voice will make a difference. I believe I can inspire people. This is a belief for myself. I don't need you guys to validate that. It's great for people to watch the videos. I'm not saying I don't value it. It's incredible. But ultimately, this is what I believe about myself. So I had to go prove it, right? And then over time, I got to this point. It takes time, but put yourself in the fire, go through it. You're going to get redirected in so many different avenues, but I promise you, man, if you stick to the process, if you don't give up, if you find a way to elevate your level of thinking, to elevate your level of reading, your level of implementation, your decisiveness, your commitment throughout the process, during those plateaus when you want to quit, which I wanted to quit so many times, there's something that Nipsey Hussle said, I went through every type of emotion. I still go through all types of emotion. There are days I don't want to do these videos. If you look at my last podcast episode until now, I've been wanting to push out like a podcast every single week. I was consistent for a while, and now I kind of like slacked off a little bit. But again, trying to get back on that roll and really get, more content for you. But ultimately, man, if you stick to the process, you don't give up, you fight, you pursue, you go through the adventure. On the other side of the adventure, man, there's a part of you don't know yet. But this part of me was not there. You could talk to all my friends and they'll tell you, like, this Sam, like, what? Sam, you do this? None of them saw me doing this. I did not even see me doing this. Like, that was not the thing that I saw coming at all. Again, at the back of my mind, I knew I could do it, but I wasn't thinking about any of these things at all. But to have the opportunity to be able to do what I'm doing, man, it's a blessing. It made me better. And I think if you embark on a journey like that, whatever that is for you, you're going to change your life. All right. I just wanted to leave this with you before I go to sleep. Go out and take on the adventure, the mantle, the difficulty, carry the cross. The cross will expose you. All the things that you've been ignoring, it will be brought to the forefront. And then you get to really work on it to improve. Make the adjustments that you need to make that you've been really putting aside. Like I used to love to do. So it's an opportunity to go on the journey, man. Go on that adventure, the difficulty, the challenge, the place that's uncomfortable. If that means traveling to California, you've been thinking about going to California and you're going to be exceptional and then become the great actor or whatever it is, go for it. Like you don't get to play this game twice. So I said, I don't care if nobody watched my videos. I think my ideas matter. I think my perspective matter. I believe that I can make a difference in other people's life. So I'm going to go ahead and put out my ideas. I started doing it and here we are. Am I perfect? No. Do I make mistakes every day? Absolutely yes. Right? Like I sin every day, just like everyone out there. I think this is what I believe about myself and I'm willing to put that on the line to prove it to myself. I'm seeking to evolve as many times as possible. Am I going to fall? Yes, I'm human. That's part of the process. You got this, all right, yo? Go make it count. Go make it count. Go on that path, all right?